It's playtime!
Hello! Welcome! Now it's time to play Star Trek Online. And today we're going to play with Jack Harkness. Oh, if he was here right now, his mind would be in the gutter. Anywho, see what I did there? Yeah, just buying time for waiting for this to load. There we go. I'm on a 2G cellular connection here, so yeah, it's a slightly fast crawl sometimes. And in the meantime, during the loading scenes, I like to get out the fingernail polish and paint the letters back on my yellow keyboard. A lot easier to work it at night that way, you know, when you can actually see which keys you're pressing. Are we ready to go? Alright. Now, I was playing in a shuttle, and that worked out alright, but then I got to the point in the game where that wasn't going to work anymore. So, tried this a couple times, it didn't quite work out, so I'm going to start this over here. Not with the tutorial, of course, but we're going to start over with the first episode, as they call it, Stranded in Space. I need 100 energy credits, and I don't have it. Okay. That's alright. I got a bunch of stuff here I don't need. Let's go start the first mission in the game that is not part of the tutorial. Stranded in Space. This is one of my favorite missions. I replay it often. A lot of the times when there's not really anything all that interesting that I want to play again, but I get the itchy trigger finger and, you know, want to shoot stuff in Star Trek Online. This is my go-to mission when I really want to kill some time with Star Trek Online and I have no idea what I will usually just go do this mission. So, I guess that's a pretty good review for it in itself, really. Distress call. I'm not going to read this out loud. If you want to see it, you know, turn the video quality up. Come on, I'm on 2G cellular Wi-Fi. I can read it in the YouTube video. I've done it. Anywho, pause it, read it. You know, if you do want to know what it says, I'm sure like the text is online somewhere. I'm just gonna go ahead and, you know, speed through that stuff. I'm sure you didn't come here to read stuff. If you wanted to read stuff, you wouldn't be watching a video. You want to see the action. I'm not going to be reading the dialogue, so we'll just go straight to the action. As you can see, I am flying the... Well, you can't see it right now. Let's get through this cutscene, then you can see it. In the meantime, we'll talk about it. I'm flying the NX-01, the new original Enterprise, thanks to the show Star Trek Enterprise. I hope you can hear me over all this gunfire. I said, I hope you can hear me over all this gunfire! I think I'm going to turn the sound effects down a little bit just to make sure you can hear me. Drawing the letters on my keyboard here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, full power to shields. Yeah, okay, whatever. Let's see. Well, the stuff's turned down pretty low, actually. I'm just going to go ahead and turn it down to a little under 1/3. Music volume's okay, but the last time I watched this video, it was pretty loud. So, ambient volume, that's okay. That's just the background sounds, you know, solar winds and whatnot. Voice volume, I'm going to go ahead and turn down because, hey, I'm talking. So the game needs to just, you know, shush a bit. There we go. All right. NX-01, the new original Enterprise. All the Enterprises are cruisers, but for some reason this one is a light escort. Which, yes, I did name Torchwood. I'm playing as Jack Harkness after all. You don't know what that means, you be looking for a video that says play Star Trek Online with Jack Harkness. Or maybe you should, I don't know. And then you can find out, you know, he's a character in Doctor Who and he's pretty awesome and you should go check him out. I'm not stalling, I'm gonna go now. Oh, wait, not yet. Sorry. Really don't mean to play with your emotions there, but I'm missing a little power down here in my ability tray. It was there last time I logged in, so don't know what happened there. Okay, now we can go. Escorts are big on attack.
Warning.
So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to go in headlong.
Target shields have failed.
And
recommend torpedo launch now.
I have my distribute shields evenly. Keybind set to B. So I hit B to fire. V, as in V for Vendetta, to fire. And the game is on auto fire. So I just hit it that one time for each enemy. And then I just sit here and tap the B button repeatedly. Hit any of the towers I need to hit. There's the grappler. Didn't see that for very long. This big grappling cable comes out and grabs a hold of the ship and keeps them from moving. This is the crafting materials minigame. You gotta hit the arrows up or down, left or right to match the waveform. And then you get some stuff. And the faster you do it, the more you get. I've never gotten more than 5. So either I really need to work on doing that faster or that's the most you can get.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Engage.
I hit evasive maneuvers. That gives me a little boost in speed. It lets me turn faster. High yield torpedoes powers up my next torpedo attack. Oh, it also gave me 2 torpedoes on that shot. I think it only did 1 last time. I'm going to hit C1 down here. That is my tachyon beam. That helps drain their shields down, which, as you can see, is pretty useful. Am I going to take that item? Oh, yeah. That's for healing the injuries, as it were, on your ship. If you play in the harder difficulty than... If you play in the elite difficulty, I don't know if it still injures you in the medium difficulty, but it doesn't in normal. I usually stay in normal, unless I just really need the extra rewards. Yes, that is a female Vulcan science officer named T'Pol. If you don't know who that is, look into Star Trek Enterprise. Here we go! Reporting to the transporter room. I also have 7 of 9, who, yes, is a tall, thin, well-endowed, blonde, female Borg. It used to not let you use the name spelled out like that. I don't know when that changed. I also have a male Vulcan science officer named Shelbyville. It wouldn't let me name him Spock, so I named him after a Vulcan from Star Trek Enterprise. Here we go. Speak to the transporter chief. And then usually this little help pop-up comes up telling you how to use the transporter, but I already played through this, so you won't have to see that. Now this transporter room and this transporter pad, I'm going to show you this. A lot of people don't notice this. The reason that's such a smooth transition and you don't have to wait for another load time, they're on the same map. See, there's the transporter room. And, okay, your officers are supposed to come over with you. This is an odd glitch I've never encountered before. Shouldn't be a problem. These guys are fairly easy to beat in here. Especially if you're a higher level, you know, because you've played the mission before. I need to zoom in the map a little bit. Sometimes I can't remember whether you turn left or right. That guy's just begging for trouble. Anywho, you go in here. There's going to be a sick person from the radiation. I'd love to scan them and help them, but I can't really help them. You have to be a science officer to actually help them. I know, it kind of sucks, but there's an accolade in here for every type of officer. So, everybody has their little thing. basic attacks, secondary attack, switch weapons. That's my pattern. What can I say? It works. You saw that right there. I'm supposed to have 4 attack pets, if you will, my bridge officers with me, and they're not with me, so it works. Oh, hello.
Enemy targets on sensors. Prepare for combat. Flanking damage detected. Take evasive action.
I'm gonna hit him with a fire extinguisher. Yeah, I know it doesn't do anything, but it was funny.
Take cover.
Actually, I think it does cut down their accuracy a little bit. I'm not sure, but it looked like he was having trouble aiming at me. Come on, give me that secondary attack. There we go. Rapid fire succession. Bizach. Oh, that's the crew member. Oh. Sorry. More crafting stuff. It gets expensive if you try to buy it in the game, so I scan those every chance I get. We don't know where they are anymore. It's that these are still fairly new versions of the crafting materials, so I take them every chance I can. Now you got to shut down those plasma leaks. That's what I've been doing at the consoles there. I know you guys are in here. I can see your red dots on the map. Dude, just come out and take your shot. Rapid fire, Bizach. That is not a bad word. Look it up in the dictionary. It is slang. It is not a swear word. If it's even in the dictionary, heck, I made it up. So, yeah, how can you be scanning the core, Seven? You're not even here. Shut up. Speaking of scanning things. See? 5. That's the most I ever get. And that was pretty fast. Okay, speak to Captain Bratwurst. I mean, Captain Brat. Sure, I'll help you crew. Okay, so our 2 crew members come with me. And out the door I go. There's a little cutscene there. You know, some guys transport into the hallway. Come on. This mission used to go fast and then I put in cutscenes. Now, this is the accolade you can get as a tactical officer. You activate this console here, and this happens. Which I think is pretty cool. So you play as a different career track, you get to play a slightly different way. Sorry, something went wonky with my cursor there. Just so you know, I don't need to kill these guys. I already got buku experience points. So even by yourself, you can just run right past them. See, there's nothing in the mission tracker that says you have to beat them. So you can try to be all Starfleet and actually avoid the confrontation. I don't know if that works as intended, as they say, if it's working as intended, as it were, but it works. May as well do it. Now I know his face doesn't look that much like Jack Harkness, but I did it in a hurry. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I had to get up at like 7. So I tried to randomize the face, and it just wasn't happening. So I took a screenshot, I guess you'd say, and tried to work from there, and that's how he came out. So it just kind of left it that way. Now there used to be 2 officers running in from the transporter room there, and then they finally slowed it down to where they were walking. But I don't know why, but for whatever reason now they don't run out there at all. The mission went through a lot of changes, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so you can just run right past them to the transporter. There you go. We're done with the ground combat, at least. And now my bridge officers transport back to where they already were. Okay. There's the crew members getting helped. Get on the turbo lift. Oh wait, I forgot. You have to speak to the transporter chief again first. Now you get on the turbo lift. Come on guys, get in here. Hey, they actually filed in there quite nicely that time. And now I swear at one point that turbo lift actually used to start to move upward. Thanks for the warning to Paul. I know, Orion people, you know, the green chicks.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Tell the men what to do, they're coming, I know. I feel kind of guilty that I have to, you know, kick their butts. It's a matriarchal society. You don't see many of those, actually. They're kind of like space Amazons, I guess you'd say. A little bit. Come on, they are a little bit. Don't argue with me on that. They are a little bit. But, and then here I come and I'm just like, we're going to kick your butt. You're the bad guys. So, we're going to blow your ships up with the people on them and everything. Freaking interceptors. Even in an escort, they're pretty fast. I got to take those out, man. I know the big boss is attacking me, but if you don't take out the it will come back to bite you in the butt. You take out as many as you can, as quick as you can. You can always take out the little guys quicker. Now, there's the grappler. I don't know if you can see it there. It's on the front of the ship. It's two cords that grab hold of the ship and don't let it go anywhere. Left side, the shields are completely down. Boom, you see that? About half his life gone with 2 torpedoes. That's how you do it. The grappler kept him from turning. And I had the tachyon beam to further take down his shields. Just in case I needed to take items. Shield cord, I can use some shields. Ambiplasma envelope. Projectile weapon damage. I'll sell it. I'm not using plasma on this ship, so. And there's the captain trying to tell you she's trying to escape. You know, you transport her out at the last second. That's classic Star Trek right there. It really is. Hi, T'Pol. I know, she looks a lot younger than T'Pol did in the show. Don't know why, but I can't remember the actress's name at the moment. But yeah, that's that mission. It's all done. And then you pick up these rewards. You get some skill points, some expertise, which is skill points for your bridge officers. And the first time you get through this, you get the Azura personal comm code that calls the ship I was telling you about, where you can access the bank and exchange. Oh, and the mailbox. So if anybody's mailed items to you, you have to actually go to a mailbox to pick them up, or you can access the mail via calling the Azura. The Azura 2, actually, because they rebuild the ship. Or if you play through this as an engineer, you actually save the ship. But apparently they still end up building another one. I don't get it. You get the energy dampening armor that cuts down the amount of damage you take from kinetic damage, which is basically stuff going boom near you. And energy damage, which is, come on, it speaks for itself. You're watching, you know, you're interested in Star Trek, you got to know what energy damage is by now. Shield Array Mark II Disruptor. This is basically a regular shield, but with a little bit of a bonus to protecting against disruptors. At least that's what I thought it was. Yeah, there it is. I didn't read far enough. Reduces disruptor damage to shields by 20%. That's 1/5. That's pretty good. That's really good, actually. The lock boxes. That's a whole nother subject I am not going to cover right now. That needs its own video right there. They're kind of worthless unless you want to pay real money to open them. So that's saying enough right there. I already have all this stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and get the energy dampening armor. I can always use more of that for my bridge officers. But that's it for the mission. Ooh, scan verteron particle. Get those crafting materials. I'm going to have a separate video for crafting because this is already way too long. So, drag that up in there, that there. shield battery over with the other shield batteries. And the next episode is Diplomatic Orders. You may have seen the first Let's Play that I ever got to work properly. Diplomatic Orders Part Z, where I show you at the very end how to skip past the last gauntlet, as it were, of Klingon warriors in the episode, because you don't have to fight them. You really don't. And Starfleet, if they could find a way around it, and they don't have to, they have no reason to have to fight the Klingons, would they? Have they ever been that way? No, they've never been that way. They would avoid them. So I'll show you how to do that. It's really not difficult at all. But a lot of people are really surprised when they run the mission with me, and I'm like, hey, let me show you how to get past these guys without having to fight them. And the people who are really interested in it, they're like, or, you know, don't mind running around them instead of trying to zerg through them, they're like, oh my, I didn't know you could do that. That's awesome. It's like what Starfleet would do. And I was like, I know! You used to be able to skip past almost all of them. You used to be able to skip past them at the beginning of the mission, and then they fixed that to where you couldn't. That's a long story. I'll talk about it in that video. But that's the next one up, Diplomatic Orders. And here's a look at the rewards you get for it. Some skill points, some expertise, personal shield Mark II disruptor, just like that ship shield I showed you earlier. Photon torpedo launcher Mark II accuracy. It improves the accuracy, and it's a photon torpedo, so that's Star Trek. Data recorder, that's the thing with the voiceovers, and then of course these kind of worthless money sinkholes. I don't know how anybody gets anything out of them. Another cool thing I did discover last time I was playing through this, you can switch between your starship, your current starship, and your current shuttle whenever you want. You just select the one that's current, and you hit switch, and this happens. And then you pick that, and one warps out and the other warps in. I'll show you that real quick. And it doesn't take long to load either. That's the fastest loading time I've seen in the game for anything. I named it Chula because I think the shuttle he flew in the first episode of Doctor Who he was in belonged to a species called the Chula. I don't recall what it looks like exactly. I don't have the best memory, but this is the one shuttle I saw that definitely reminded me of that Chula ship. So that's what I gave him. I like it. I kicked butt in it for quite a while before it didn't do any good anymore. So, oh, and I love this.
Warning.
Oh, come on, Chula. That was unnecessary. All right, let's get out. Oh, good, it's following us. My evasive maneuvers get us out of there. Oh man, wish I could scan that and get some materials back. Or maybe not. Anyways, this has been Let's Play Star Trek Online with Jack Harkness, Stranded in Space. Next up, Diplomatic Orders. Stay shiny.
Playtime's over!